They're dead, Dave.
What, Captain Hollister?
Everybody's dead, Dave.
What, Todd Hunter? What, Selby? Not Jen.
He's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead, Dave.
Exciting news, Adam.
Yes, very exciting.
But not quite breaking news. It's actually now a couple of days old. But this is the first time we could get together to record about it. So
Yes.
and actually not the first time we've recorded some breaking news that wasn't breaking, but that we never got out.
Yes. but we're here now. We're here now to report on some great news.
We're here now. It's been a while since we've had an episode. This is Everybody's Dead, Dave, by the way, the Red Dwarf review podcast, where we review every episode of Red Dwarf in order, myself being the veteran of watching Red Dwarf since the 90s, and Adam being the relative newbie.
Yes, and will always forever and will be the relative newbie on this show. So yes, very happy to be here.
But yeah, there's let's do the history of this. Red Dwarf anniversary. It was a big one this year. And on that day, there were both Doug Naylor and Rob Grant both tweeted out the exact same tweet, which read, "To fans, cast and crew, and everything in between, a very smeggy 35th birthday. Fingers crossed for more. Much love, Rob and Doug." And the Red Dwarf fandom went wild with speculation of what that could mean. They were tweeting the same thing out, a joint statement, and we recorded a bonus podcast that we were going to put out, and then I never got around to editing it, and now there's new stuff that made it completely pointless to edit that one, so we're just doing one from scratch.
Absolutely, but I'd say this one, the news for this one, is even more exciting than the last one.
Yeah, because we were speculating what that could mean. Are they doing something together? Or are they doing separate things, but they're both doing it? Or because there was this long-running legal dispute. What's going on? We were wondering, and now we know a bit more. We still don't know exactly what's happening. But the official Red Dwarf Twitter account tweeted out this statement: Rob Grant and Doug Naylor are delighted to announce that the ongoing dispute over the Red Dwarf rights has been resolved. Yay!
Hooray!
Moving onwards and upwards, Rob and Doug hope to launch separate iterations of Red Dwarf across various media, working again with the cast and other valued partners, and wish each other the very best. Smoke me a kipper, Red Dwarf will be back for breakfast.
Which, yeah, and I mean, as you say, if the fandom exploded at the thought of them just sharing a joint statement together on Red Dwarf's birthday, this sent everything into overdrive.
Yeah. So this kind of confirms they're not working together. They're not like writing new Red Dwarf together, but they are both going to be writing what they refer to as separate iterations of Red Dwarf. What?
Yes.
What do you think that might mean?
Well, is it? I forget. Is it Doug Naylor who kept doing the TV stuff primarily?
Yeah. Doug Naylor's been the one making the TV show since the late 90s. Yeah.
I'd like to think just because you could say maybe in a business sense it would make more sense. Maybe he'll continue doing the traditional television version of Red Dwarf, and maybe Rob Grant will expand into like books or comics potentially, or graphic novels, which are very popular.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess, because if Doug Naylor's been doing it since the 90s single-handedly, why would he want to give that up now? Do you know what I mean? Why would he want to?
I think that's probably the most likely. I think we're going to get more Doug written episodes of TV Red Dwarf. What the mystery, I think, is what Rob Grant's doing. Is he going to be continuing? Do we think he might continue the book continuity that both of them started together and then kind of branched off in different directions with a book each? Maybe he'll continue from where he left off in his one, which was he backwards or was he the other one? I can't remember now. Last Human, which one was he? I think
aficionados will remind us.
I think he might have been backwards, wasn't he? I'm going to Google it. Hold on. Red Dwarf novels.
No, go for it.
Okay, yeah, so it was backwards. He wrote backwards.
Right.
Rob Grant wrote backwards. So will this, which we haven't read yet.
No.
We're going to review at some point, but we haven't read it yet. So will he maybe continue the writing novels and pick up from where he left off continuity-wise from the end of that novel? Will he start a completely fresh continuity from where he was last involved in the TV series? There's so many options.
One option I thought, I mean, it does say various media working again with the cast and other valued partners, which I thought was a very interesting turn of phrase. I mean, obviously the cast implies that potentially Rob Grant say one avenue I think that could be expanded in maybe is audio drama, perhaps.
Yes, yeah, and of course both Rob Grant and Doug Naylor have a history working in the audio medium. They started out as comedy radio writers for Radio 4. They had a sketch show on Radio 4. That's the origins of Red Dwarf, come from a sketch in their Son of a Cliche program on Radio 4. So yeah, maybe we'll get some.
Maybe we will. And I mean, you know, in terms of releasing audio drama with big brands, I mean, what company's better than Big Finish, which of course anyone who's I'm sure a Doctor Who fan will be aware of. But obviously they don't just do Doctor Who. They've done Blake Seven, Sapphire and Steel, a lot of the Jerry Anderson stuff recently, like Thunderbirds and all that. So in my mind, Red Dwarf on Big Finish with the original cast, that would make sense.
That would be amazing. I would absolutely love that. And from the sounds of it, when they're talking about separate iterations, I imagine they're them being in separate continuities, so they don't have to like tie in with each other. They don't have to line up with each other. They can be their own distinctive things, just one on an audio medium and one on a TV medium, but both using the cast, which would be great.
Yeah, that's exciting, but it'll also, you know what fans are like, they'll also be tearing their hair out at the thought of keeping track of two entirely separate continuities. But, you know, it's exciting though, like you're saying, the potential new stories we might get in whatever form that might take.
We live in the era of the multiverse. It's fine.
This is true.
The audiences are primed for this now. You just need to slip in a quick reference to the multiverse in the first episode of these things, and then you're away with your separate iterations. It's all good.
You're all good. And to be fair, a film all about the multiverse just won Best Picture at the Oscars.
It did.
You know, I mean, you know, there's scope for that, but...
It did. The final bit of news that is linked to this is Danny John Jules also tweeted out a picture. And it's a picture of what looks like a table read of a script of some kind. The kind of you get before a TV show, you know, goes into production. Cast all sit around and read the script around the table, because you've got Danny there. I can definitely see Robert Llewellyn, Chris Barry. I'm pretty sure with his back to us there is Craig
that looks
Charles.
like Craig Charles, yeah.
So I think you've got all the main cast there in that, and he implies that is, he just says no words needed, and then a little emoji of a cat. So
yes,
that's a table read for something, but is that the TV? Is that maybe an audio spin-off? Or is that something else?
Well, this is it. I mean, the hashtag says RDPEE, so assuming that RD means Red Dwarf, again, assumedly, what does PEE stand for, potentially?
Yeah.
So, you know, because I was trying to, before we started recording, I was looking at it thinking, that's got to stand for something, but I'm not quite sure. So, but yeah, I definitely think the two, as you say, if you find the picture online, you can make out Craig Charles, Chris Barry, Robert Llewellyn there. So, yeah, my guess would be, because I know table reads, I think these days they're mostly done before, like you say, before TV, aren't they?
Yeah.
In the realm of, if it was an audio drama.
Well, I don't know what Big Finish do. I mean, well, you know, you've acted in Big Finish. Do they not do a cast read through or anything beforehand? Because I know in audio drama for the BBC, usually they'll be just before they, like, immediately before they start recording, like the morning of, they do a read through of the script with the whole cast. But is that not something that Big Finish do?
It's not in my experience. Was, you know, we were recording 1 hour long story in one day, and you think, you know, you've got all day, like traditional hours to do it. That's a lot of time, but really, when you're piecing it all together, it's not that long, really. So what we did was we all came in and we did it was just like a 10 minutes. You could almost call it like a warm-up, just like where you start chatting to each other and the director chats with the actors a bit about, you know, the general story, the gist of the story, about, like, are there any threads from before that need to be acknowledged? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of just like here's a brief overview. And then, how I did it, we just went through scene by scene, really. I'd say you did a rehearsed reading, so I'd say it wasn't a run through all the way through at the start. It was sort of staggered throughout the day. But
yeah. So this
but
is probably more likely to be TV.
that would be, if you told me to put money on it, I'd say
Or
this is
a
for
movie.
TV.
You never know. You never know. Maybe
wow,
these two separate iterations are TV and movie. You never know. Who knows?
Maybe, but I mean,
I think that's probably in the sky thinking there. I think audio dramas is probably more likely, but
well, you never know. I mean, people have said there could have been a Red Dwarf film for decades now, so maybe now is finally the time to do it. But I think one thing that, amongst all the speculation that we can all agree on and that is great, is that in some form or another, more Red Dwarf is coming, which is great.
Yep. And you lot can speculate below in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. This has just been a very quick little bonus episode to talk about this news. We will be back with regular episodes soon. I keep saying that, and the date keeps on getting pushed back. I'm sorry it's been such a long break. It's all my fault. We have a whole series. We have all of series 11 recorded. We just haven't. I haven't got around to editing it. It's all my fault. You can blame me.
Yeah.
Adam is completely innocent in this.
That's just life, though, isn't it? As we said before, life is busy.
It is, but it will be coming soon, so keep on the feed for that. And let us know in the comments below what you think of this news and what you think the different iterations might be.
Yes, please, let us do. And hopefully this new Red Dwarf content, whatever it is, will come soon. So we've got more content to review then.
Yeah.
That'd be ideal.
God, that'll be weird, won't it? If we're reviewing a brand new episode of Red Dwarf on the podcast. That'll be surreal. Okay, well, thank you for listening, guys. Stay tuned. If you want to catch us on our socials, we've got the Red Dwarf. We've got the Pod Twitter account even, which is at AllDeadDavePod. I'm at Culture Filter, which is PHILTER for filter. Adam, you are just Adam Martyn, is that?
Adam Martyn, AMTV on Twitter, and on YouTube it's just Adam Martyn, spelt with a Y, and you can find all my stuff there.
Excellent. Well, we'll see you soon for more episodes. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.